the next point, good things comes to those who wait. And this is in regards to good things don't come easy in life. Okay? Let me say that again. Good things now don't come easy. Why? It's going to test your strength. It's going to test your capabilities. How teachable are you? How flexible are you? How much are you going to sacrifice in order to get to that goal, dream, and aspiration? How much are you willing to take on the challenge so you can be able to accomplish the goal? All right. So when it comes to wanting a good thing, of course, it's not going to come when you want it. It's not going to come now. It's going to come when you are ready for it. It's going to come when you are fully and completely ready for it. Hold on, y'all. And on top of that, it's going to come when you least expect it. So that's why it's important that once you have a goal set in mind, and it's a sure good thing, just know it's not going to come easy for you. Now, if it does come easy for you, that can be out of luck, right? However, whenever that luck runs out, because there's only so many times that you'll be able to get things out of luck. But once it runs out, that's when you put in that work. That's when you're really going to be tested, because you've been getting it easy for so long. That's when it's really going to test you, like, how bad do you want it? How do you want it? How do you feel? Okay, that's when the trials and tribulations, the obstacles and the challenges come along the way. And there's a sure good thing that you want, but it doesn't come on you, not only on your time, but it doesn't work immediately in your favor out of luck. All right. So that's why the lesson is, if you want it, you got to work for it. You got to work for it. Okay. You got to put in some work. That's the same as manifesting / praying, right? You can't pray for something and you're not going to work towards it, right? You gotta act on that prayer. You gotta act on that manifestation, so you can be able to match up to that energy of that good thing that you want. You can't just go on willy-nilly like, okay, there's this good thing and I know I got it in the bag. Sometimes it don't work like that all the time. So that's why it's important to keep in mind that once that luck runs out, be prepared to work for it, because it's gonna test your gangster in the end of the day. It's gonna test you. See how bad you really want it without that luck, right? Okay, so moving right along is act of kindness. Do some act of kindness, helping others out. Okay, it can be simple as calling somebody on the phone, ring ring, how you doing? Pricking their mind a little bit. Ask them how they doing, because it may brighten up their day just by hearing from somebody that they love, or will give them some sort of enlightenment, some laughter along the way. It can be simple as holding the door for someone, or buying someone who's after you in the line, right? Or just saying hello. A simple hello will help somebody. Hugging somebody will help. Helping someone with putting their groceries in the car is an act of kindness, right? just showing some sort of compassion for one another, because that'll help you raise your vibration, because um that's an act of giving and receiving. Once you show your act of kindness, once you give out your act of kindness to somebody, with no strings attached, you don't know what you're going to receive back in return. It can be a monetary return, it can be someone else complimenting you, it can be somebody else showing you some sort of compassion, paying your bill out of nowhere, and you trying to figure out who didn't pay my bill, right? So, um, show act of kindness, because you don't know what a person is going through at the time, and just that simple hello, or I like your hair, or I like your nails, or I like what you got on. Where you get that from? That can change somebody's life, right? Which leads on to the next one is, don't let the ego and the pride get in the way, because it's not all about you. There are billions and billions of people on this earth, and and you get into that, you letting that ego. Let's find the definition of ego, right? Let's do a quick look up on the ego. Let me screenshot that. The definition of ego is oh, they even got ego versus intuition. Okay, and I'm gonna do a checkup on that one. The ego is a noun, and it says a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance, a boost of my ego. Similar formats is self-esteem or self-importance. For psychoanalysis, it says the part of the mind that mediates between conscious and unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personality identity. Mm. And for a philosophy standpoint and metaphysics, a conscious thinking subject. Okay? So, an example of ego is the way you look at yourself. An example of ego is thinking you are the smartest person on earth, right? But in reality, you're still learning. Yeah, you're not, you can't, there's no way possible that you know everything, any and everything on this possible earth. So when somebody smarter than you or faster than you or better than you comes along, don't that fluster or flutter your ego a little bit? Don't that bump your ego a little bit because someone is somebody is doing something better than you? That's when that shadow work comes into play. You got to see why that ego is getting in the way, which brings to the pride, right? So let's do the definition of pride. The definition of pride is also a noun. One of the definitions is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievement of those with whom one is closely associated, or form qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Example for this is the team was bursting with pride after recording a sensational victory. So this is in regards to pleasure and joy. But I'm talking about from another aspect, which is the second one, is consciousness of one's own dignity. An example of this is he swallowed his pride and asked for help. Now, when it comes to the ego and the pride, I know I had to put my ego and pride to the side when it comes to certain circumstances of my life. Okay, whether it was in relationships or asking for help. Because I felt like to a certain degree, I could do it on my own, right? And once it got to that point where push comes to shove, It got to a matter like, hey, you know what? I give up. I surrender. I mm-mm, I don't want any of this back and forth anymore, because not only is not helping with my growth, but it's not helping with the connection, and it's not going is and kids feed off of that energy too. So that's again, it's not all about you, just like it's not all about me. When we're dealing with partnerships and relationships and family units in general, we is not all about you. There's other people lives at play, and it's important to not make a selfish decision based on what you think, because it can affect somebody else's. It can trickle down to affecting somebody else's life on down the line. So that's why it's important to really have a sit down conversation with yourself, as well as, if it's not with yourself and your ego and your pride is up to here and it needs to be brought down to here in a compromising position, right? To where you need to have a sit down talk with the person that you have in that conflict as well, so y'all can come into a compromise and a conflict resolution type of thing. Because once that ego and that pride comes into play, for a good example, the Ime Udoka situation, there's a lot of ego and pride that is standing in the way because of the decisions that were made on um that were made at the time that affected everyone that they were involved with, out of their selfish ways and lack of discipline. So again, um go have that ego death. It's time to lay that ego and that pride to rest. If you need help, seek help. It's okay. Everybody needs help. Even I need help. Okay? But don't get to a point where you're like in a needy, codependent situation. You can be able to balance out your pride and ego. And you can also be able to balance out how much you're going to ask somebody to help for help or not. And when you ask for help, go to people that don't mind helping you and don't have no strings attached. In regards to you helping them, especially if you helped that person previously in a loving and compassion and no strings attached manner. If you're gonna have that same effect with that person, but on the flip side, go to somebody else that will offer that a help and assistance for you, um that doesn't have any strings attached, or doesn't have anything lingering over your head, right? Okay. So at the end of the day, it's not all about you. It's not all about you. You're not the only person on the earth, okay? Even myself, I'm not the only person on this earth. There are still other people around me, right? Comment down below your thoughts and opinions on that one. And which brings to number 29, which is change your mindset. And when you do that, when you let go of that ego and pride, y'all, and you start changing your mindset on everything that I've discussed throughout these 30 lessons that I learned, once you change your mindset, deprogram and unlearn the things that you have been taught and learned that are perceived toxic and in not a healthy conflict resolution type of manner. Once you change your mindset, the possibilities are endless for you. You're gonna start feeling lighter. Your appearance, your facial features are going to change a little bit, because you're not wearing that burden on you anymore, because you have let it go completely, to where you can start a whole nother chapter on a whole discovery of self, right? getting to know yourself, learning how to be alone with yourself to combat the conquer the fears and the obstacles and the challenges that are presenting yourself, or you keep putting to the side, and to some capacity you project it to other people because you don't want to address it. It's time to address it so you can put it to rest and change your mindset. And now, how you can change your mindset? There are plenty of ways to change your mindset. Spiritual retreat, right? Changing your environment. Reframing from low vibrational um television, right? Because I have my guilty pleasures of the low vibrational TV sector, right? But there's only so much that I can soak in from it because I'm a little further along in my ascension, in my evolving of my life. So again, change your mindset to where those thoughts, those negative thoughts that you're thinking at the time, you flip that script like, nope. Instead of saying, I hope, I wish, I can't wait, change it to I am, I will, I am doing. So you can again vocalize and change the vibrational essence of the tongue to expect the abundance of newness and prosperity and freedom that you always wanted in the end. Okay? Being able to be yourself at all times and not worrying about what people say, because you have let go things that you can't control. And you have taken over things that you could control. And you flipped it upside down to where it don't faze you that much. Which leads to my last point of the 30th lesson that I learned, which was discussed before previously on one of the points, is don't let that past define you. Just as much digging that you have done in your family ancestry and you recognize those patterns, you recognize those cycles that you and your family has been enduring for generations and generations and lifetimes and more. Once you figure that out, are you going to break it, or are you going to continue on with it? Because if you let the past define you, it's going to stop you from living in the moment. It's going to stop you from seeing the bigger picture. It's going to stop you from following your intuition. It's going to stop you from knowing when to let go, right? So once you figure out those patterns within your family cycle, or within the cycle that you have as an individual, which sometimes it could fester up from past lives and generational cycles aspect. Once you identify that, you have the choice to change it. You have the choice to change it. Are you going to be the one to take up the challenge to stop the pattern, to stop the cycle? Press that red button, or better yet, press that white button, because white stands for purity. Reset. Are you? So leave your comments down below on that one. Are you going to be the one that stop the cycle? Have you identified those cycles? Are you willing to identify those cycles? Because as the great Maya Angelou would say, without courage, we cannot practice any other virtue with consistency. We can't be kind, true, merciful, generous, or honest. But the one that hits the nail on the head for me every single time is, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Simple as that. I seen that quote and I was like, yep, that's me all the way. If and that goes along with that serenity inspirational quote as well. You know, not I accept the things that I cannot change type of quote, that serenity. Yeah. So don't let the past define you, you guys. Only you have the ability to break the chain. Just tell the universe when, and they'll be able to gladly assist you on that. But I can tell you myself, it is a battlefield. You're gonna have some ups, you're gonna have some downs, but at the end of the day, you're gonna know yourself truly and fully to where you don't even have to worry about anybody questioning you of your self-worth, because you know it yourself, and you don't even have to have the necessity to prove it to anybody, but because it's going to radiate in your energy and in your presence each and every time. Okay, so without further ado, that concludes my 30 lessons that I learned that turned into blessings. I thank you all for tuning in. Feel free to leave a comment down below on your thoughts and opinions about this, all the lessons that I have bestowed on you all, okay, that I sprinkled, like the little salt person that I sprinkled on you. Instead of me throwing salt, I'm throwing, you know, good old life gems on you, right? But yes, please feel free to leave your comments down below, y'all. I love to read upon them. Don't forget to share the video as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so I can be boosted up in those good old recommended algorithms. Sharing is caring, y'all. Sharing is caring. Share it out. People need to hear these messages. Okay, especially when they are, going through it. All right. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know the next time I upload a video. Until next time, because I'm about to eat some tacos, y'all. Until next time, always remember to love thyself, know thyself, soothe thyself so you can heal thyself. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.